Good morning, everybody. Now, this is going to be a different little video that we're going to be making this morning. I'm always uploading different videos to teach people how to find customers, how they can survive in the world of brokering and trucking and just how to become more profitable. But what I'm going to talk about today is identity theft. Now, identity theft is rampant in the trucking industry, whether you're a carrier or whether you're a broker. A lot of brokers and trucking companies will put their paperwork out on the internet on their websites, for carriers to download, etc. That's very foolish. You should not do that. All this paperwork, fine, have it in PDF form. You can email it to a carrier, you could fax it to a carrier, and vice versa. But when you go to putting it out on your website, there's a lot of unscrupulous people in this industry that will basically use it for nefarious means. And I'll give you some examples here in just a second. But I want to show you what we're looking at right now. And a lot of you guys are going to know what you're looking at. All right, this is an operating authority. That's your license. Now, this is a brokerage operating authority that we're looking at here, but carriers are going to have the same one with a different designation. Now, you'll see that I have this opened up in Photoshop. Now, mind you, I am not some whiz kid on a computer, stuff like that. I can get enough to get me in trouble. I actually just did a basic search for a freight brokering or trucking company operating authority. I didn't want to use my own, so I just tooled around on the internet and this popped up. And there were hundreds with it. All right. So I downloaded this operating authority and I'm going to show you just how quickly this can be done to you. All right. Now, as I told you, I'm not some kind of master in Photoshop. It's going to take me about, I'd say, 30 seconds to edit this. Now you'll see it's got the broker's MC number here. You'll see it's got his DOT number there, the name of the brokerage here, and where it's located. Well, what these scammers are going to do, they want to keep that name of the brokerage because all of this information can be verified, of course, on the FMCSA website in the licensing and insurance section. But when you're dealing with a prospective shipper, all right, the greater majority are not going to go through all that trouble when you send them a shipper setup package. They're going to see that you have an operating authority. They're going to look at your contingent cargo, if you're carrying that, or your all risk liability insurance, and they're just going to put it in a file. Very few are actually going to do their due diligence and check this out to make sure you're in good standing, make sure where you're located, things of that nature. Adversely, the same thing happens with a lot of brokerages out there, and it doesn't matter if you're small or the size of C.H. Robinson. All right. They don't do their due diligence and check the carrier information that comes in. They just see, okay, here it is. They'll look and see if he has insurance paperwork and file it away. All right. This job is always about due diligence. But let's look at this brokerage authority, and I'm going to show you how quickly one of these guys can edit it. Now, as I said, I want to keep the current MC number in place. I want to keep the DOT number. I'm even going to keep the name of the trucking company. But what I'm going to take away, you'll see in Springfield, Missouri here, I'm going to just get rid of this. All right. Now, you see what I'm doing here? All I'm doing is in Photoshop, I've created a little brush and I've now edited that information out. All right. And as I told you, I'm not some kind of whiz kid, stuff like that. And now I'm going to go over here to the text. All right. While it does it, all I'm going to do is change the name of the town. Okay. I'm going to change the name of the town here real quick, if my fingers will work. But I'm editing this operating authority where it's going to reflect whatever town that I might want to set up a masquerade brokerage. I'm going to just put Richmond, Virginia. Now, the first thing I've got to do is edit the font, and that looks like Arial, the font Arial, and I'm going to change that up in just a second. I forgot to hit my caps lock. All right. But basically, I'm going to put this into play. I'm going to change the font up. And then if we wanted to scam somebody, we would be in business. All right. So they've got it set up Myriad Pro. I'm going to go with something else. I'm going to go with your standard Arial font. Bear with me. My computer is running kind of slow here, and I do apologize for that. There we go. And you could do this in any photo editor. And by the way, I'm not telling anyone to do this. I'm just showing you how they do it. All right. Now, personally, I can attest that about 5 years ago, I was burned by one of these guys. And I started learning, and I got a quick class and a quick lesson on how they did it. Now I'm going to try to match the case. That's a little too big, so I'm going to go back down to 14 point. That actually looks like the font pretty good, and I'm going to go with a little bold. See what that looks like. All right, I think we got a winner there. All right, now we're going to change the font color, of course, and I got to figure out how to do that here. I honestly don't know how to do that part of it, but this is exactly how they do this stuff, guys. I mean, it's that quick. You get one of these guys that know what they're doing, and they're going to be on this in a minute, okay? But basically, that's how quick it is, when somebody's going to edit this. Now, they will take this operating authority at this point in time. Okay, this might actually work. Okay. Let me center it up here. They will take this operating authority. They will then create an invoice from it. Now, it doesn't have to be your information. Okay. Basically, they'll create an invoice for this, and once they do, that invoice will go back to your address. All right. Now, what they send the shipper is going to be completely different. All right. They're going to send the shipper a shipper setup pack, which will have the billing information for them. Because here's how this scam works. And I'm going to actually print this to PDF real quick so you can kind of see what's going on here. All right. And as I told you, I'm not some kind of a master person doing this stuff. I'm just showing you how quickly it could happen. All right. Now I'm going to just put fake authority. All right. This ain't too bad for an old guy. I mean, now when one of these little hackers get on top of this, they can go nuts with it. All right. But essentially, we're going to have a brand new authority. All right. Now, you'll see where it's printed up. Now, I bolded that, but of course, these guys aren't going to do that. They're going to actually know what they're doing. But you can see just how simple this is. All right. Now, getting back to it, what these guys will do when they steal your authority, they're going to contact some shippers in a high area. All right. So I want to focus on Salinas, California. All right. Salinas, and I'm recording this video, today's May 3rd. It's getting very busy because we're going back into the summer transition for those produce coolers. And anybody that's been in this business over 5 minutes will tell you, these rates can get a little high. Well, let's say there's a bunch of loads leaving Salinas, California, going to Boston, Massachusetts. Now, these shippers might be wanting to pay $7,500, $8,000 a load, and they're still having a hard time finding trucks. Let's be honest, man, trucks aren't stupid. They're out there because they know the rates are high. All right, and they're looking for those runs going to Philadelphia, they're looking for runs going out to Jessup, Maryland, or to Boston because they pay the money. Well, shippers have a hard time finding trucks. So what these scammers do is they will find the trucks just calling them off a damn load board. And where the shipper is only paying, let's say, $7,500 on the load, that scammer is going to offer the truck maybe $8,500 on the load. It doesn't matter what he offers them. He's not going to pay the truck anyway. So he'll get the paperwork from the shipper. He'll forward that to the truck. The truck picks up. The truck delivers. All are going well and good. Truck will prepare an invoice, send it in for payment. All right? In the meantime, the scammer invoices the shipper, and he might select a quick pay option if the shipper has it, or give him some type of an invoice reduction if he pays within 7 to 10 days, something like that, where it's not your traditional 30 days. And he'll keep doing this over and over and over and over again and just start banking on money. It's very easy to generate $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in a month with these loads and get these payments for these shippers and disappear. All right? Look, my message to you, don't post your operating authority out there on your websites. Keep this something when you're dealing with a carrier or dealing with a shipper. You send them your information. Don't let prying eyes see it. It's rampant in the industry. It happened to me, and I'm a pretty diligent person, but it took forever to fix. All right? Just a word of advice. I'll upload some more sales videos later. This is more of a P's and Q's thing. You should stay on top of it. And I will be deleting this operating authority that I downloaded off the internet. All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. For more information about freight broker training, go to www.freightbrokertraining.com. That's www.freightbrokertraining.com. This is Scott Woods from Transportation Training Group signing off. Y'all have a good day.